Infection is a candidate for the worst zombies map of all time. I would agree that Infection is a terrible map, but the worst zombies map of all time? I mean, it was a new low. As bad as Infection is, I don't think it is the worst zombies map, not even the worst exo zombies map. But Infection gets its deserved flack. But again, to call it the worst, I don't know. Infection was a map that secretly revolutionized zombies while at the same time bringing a new low to zombies. The second map in Exo Zombies had some expectations that there would be some improvements from Outbreak, something that would really sell the formula of COD Zombies but with a jetpack. What we got instead was none of that. Instead we got another bland, generic zombies map. But hey, look, Burgertown! Let's go! Yeah, Burgertown! Okay, Infection had every chance to be great, but it seems like the developers decided to take a ton of bad decisions, and I can see what they were going for, a high risk versus reward, but unfortunately, it didn't land the mark. The four main problems the community seems to have with this map are the Easter egg, wonder weapon, gas, escort rounds, and a fifth, the boss. Let's start with the escort rounds. These are pretty atrocious. I don't think they have a good enough reward for completing them. Your reward is a free pack-a-punch on your currently equipped weapon, which stems from the problem of the fact that there are 20 levels of pack-a-punch in the game, 25 if you include the Easter egg. It is also the only reward you get for completing one. I feel like the difference between a round 10 escort and a round 30 escort is massive and should have been compensated accordingly. I think some additional power-ups like a max ammo, insta-kill, double points, fire sale, whatever would have been fair. Or pack-a-punching both weapons, not just the one you have on your screen. I think a max ammo especially would help, as you are using an absurd amount of ammo on these rounds. The AI pathing doesn't help either. This guy takes some of the most inconvenient routes I've ever seen. To add insult to injury, this map is tiny. While it takes a while to get from, say, Burgertown to the Atlas Command area, the physical space in-game is pretty small. I really wish there was a way to break down these barriers. I feel like this had to be a result of the game being on Xbox 360 and PS3. Anyways, not only is the pathing on the AI terrible, the ratio of zombie aggro is ridiculous. It's not even a challenge. I just sit here spamming my weapons as much as I can while every zombie possible piles onto this guy. I feel like a version where he didn't stop moving when a zombie so much as sneezes on him would be better. The insult to injury is that he doesn't even immediately get evacuated. When you get to the flare, you have to wait around for that too. I feel like a lot of minor tweaks to how this worked would have made the feature a lot better. The silver lining is that this objective is optional, so you can just ignore this whole thing, but for some reason, if you fail the escort, you get a power outage, and you have to turn on all the generators again, which is like, what's the point of that? It's so meaningless. I actually think you get some more points because you get points for turning on the generators, so it might secretly be a bonus, but again, it's pointless and meaningless. It does nothing other than inconvenience you. The weirdest part is that most of the community agrees that this escort objective is stupid, but I guess we're ignoring that when it comes to Cold War Outbreak, right? Because Outbreak is so good. It's the greatest zombies map ever, right guys? Right? Outbreak is so cool. Let's move on to the gas before I have a fat guy rage attack about how terrible Cold War's Outbreak is. That will be my ultimate deep dive episode. I'm gonna try and make it like 2 hours long or something. A movie spectacular. The gas is, again, another giant inconvenience. That makes no sense. It interrupts gameplay in such a weird way. It's fine when it's just one area, but the longer the game goes on, it can spread to all three main training areas. This confines you to the sewers and the spawn area, which are both incredibly small, and if you have played Exo Zombies for more than 9 seconds, then you know that exo zombies in small spaces just don't mix. It's fine in other zombie modes because maps are expertly designed to leave you just enough space to cram through the zombie hitbox and feel like a boss, but in exo zombies, not so much. I don't even see a functional reason for the gas. Is it really there just to piss you off? Like, I know in Call of the Dead, the fog comes in every so often to save on memory because, you know, Xbox 360 Lamau. But it couldn't handle the entirety of the map. But is the gas just here because fuck you? I know it's also on the old gen consoles, but I don't know, this just doesn't seem right. I'd also be fine with it if there was a way to turn it off. Like, you have to go down to the sewers and press a button and the gas is gone. But nope, you just have to wait for the round to end. I'd really like to know the developer intentions behind the gas because it's really dumb. So again, it's not bad when the gas infects one area, but again, it can infect all 3 main areas. So when that occurs, it's really more of a lol, your game is over now, get fucked. That is unless you know how to train in the sewers, which is really hard, and by the time I get to that point, I'm just bored. So I quit the game anyway and don't care. Next up is the wonder weapon. So the magnetron is interesting. I'm actually going to be a slight contrarian and say it's not a complete paperweight. It does kill zombies, it's fine. There are many worse weapons in the box, and there's also some better ones. But I do understand where everyone is coming from, and I think the slight underpoweredness of the magnetron was noticed in development, so I think it was smart to include the Cell 3 cauterizer in every map from here on out. I honestly think the magnetron could have worked in normal zombies, as it's pretty similar to the paralyzer, but the exo zombies are too fast to reasonably have a weapon like the magnetron in the game. It's more of a good support backup weapon, but it's not nearly as bad as everyone is making it out to be. It's not worse than the Winter's Howl, let's get that right. Now, some ideas on what I would have done. I think you could keep the current design, but give it infinite ammo. Or a completely new weapon. Could be something like a shotgun that blasted zombies back, similar to the Thunder Gun or the Thunderwall AAT, something with a strong knockback. I think it would be good for those close quarters combat that this map is demanding. Finally, the Easter egg. Now, I don't have to be the first to tell you this Easter egg is ridiculous. I think it's the origin of the dozens of random locations epidemic. In theory, it's actually not a bad Easter egg, but it's not good either. First steps involve filling up souls with a golden frying pan. This on its own isn't bad, but you need to find 4 valves in the sewers. Again, not bad, except they are random, and there are dozens of possible locations, and if you don't know what you're looking for, there are tons of different types of valve pipes. So if you don't know what exactly you're looking for, it's already a lost cause and you aren't even on step 2. But whatever, so you need a ton of kills in this secret area that gets opened up, and it's way too many. I still don't know if there's a specific rule to this, but man, I feel like I'm in this room for ages. I think something like 20 kills would have gotten the same result, but it feels like hundreds sometimes. So there's a few more arbitrary steps, and now you have to find 4 meat slabs around the map. And again, there are dozens of spawns for each meat slab. And finding a concrete list of every possible spawn, it was nearly impossible. It's absolutely ludicrous and is on par with the worst Easter egg step in the entire franchise. It is very reminiscent of the Blood of the Dead bird step. Another step involves getting a burger bun, and this is a random drop from zombies. Most of the time this isn't bad, but in one of my games, it took 8 rounds for this thing to drop. Completely unacceptable. The rest of the Easter egg, though, isn't too bad. It's just mainly go here, hold square there, but there's this timed thing where you need to make it to a box just before its hatch closes. I think this could have been expanded upon in some way. It's just sadly a little 10-second long ordeal, but I think a time trial-esque step could have worked here. The final steps are kinda cool though, especially the rocket taking off with the burger bombs, but the obsessive amount of random locations is some of the most egregious in the entire franchise. The alligator trap step is okay once you understand the timing, but for newer players, I can understand how this is really annoying. Infection also decided to introduce the first real boss zombie into exozombies. Why the fuck did they make it have an EMP capabilities? Seriously? EMP stomp and rockets? More EMZ shit? What the hell is wrong with developers? Do they want you to have maximum miserability? And what the hell is this achievement? Kill it with a melee attack? What the fuck? So what else of note is there in this map? I think the traps are cool, especially the orbital strike thing in the Burgertown area. I kind of wish Bubby was just a permanent thing in the map after you complete the Easter egg. For some reason, the Toccata and Feud is the Easter egg song. I guess it's funny if nothing else. I guess something that Infection did well is iterate on the story. For the most part, the zombie story was seen in journal entries, radios, character quotes, loosely stringing along the audience. But Infection introduced an ending cutscene. Now I know that other maps had opening cutscenes and Origins had ending, but that was more to introduce the characters you were playing as in the situation you were in. Again, to my knowledge, other than Origins, this is the first map with an ending cutscene, and unlike Origins' cryptic ending, Infections dropped a bombshell cliffhanger unlike anything we've ever seen. They killed off a playable character. Now that's something to rejuvenize interest in the game, and as per order of Activision, it was the only character anyone liked. It was quite ballsy and started a story that wasn't just chasing MacGuffins around. That's Treyarch's bread and butter, for all I know. That is something I wish more maps did, but again, you could have put that cutscene on any map, so is it really Infection specific? But in summary, Infection is somehow a worse iteration on Exozombies. Instead of playing with the verticality and fixing the problems from Outbreak, the developers seem to have doubled down on making your experience as miserable as possible. Where the story is the only redeeming quality, I can think of a few other maps that follow that trend, so the combination of 5 awful decisions in the map gives this map a deserved 2 out of 10 F tier.